Hello, everyone. Welcome to Barca News. It is March 29th, 2025, and Osasuna have decided to file an appeal to challenge Iñigo Martinez's lineup in the match between Barca and Osasuna. Also, Jules Kounde has lashed out at La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation. And finally, Ancelotti has replied to Hansi Flick. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the channel. My name is Mo, and I'm bringing you this short live stream in order to update you on all Barcelona news. As I announced in previous videos, I'm currently out of the country. I'm in Japan visiting my sister. That's why there's going to be some weird timing as far as the videos because of the difference of time. I didn't do any videos yesterday because I flew for 14 and a half hours. I was exhausted, so I decided to sleep instead. But now I'm well rested. I'm ready to bring you this Barca news. So let's get straight into it, starting with the news that Osasuna have decided to appeal the results from the Barca 3, Osasuna 0 match because of improper lineup of Iñigo Martinez. Now, what Osasuna are alleging with this appeal, or will allege with this appeal, is that Iñigo Martinez should not have been included in the lineup because of a FIFA rule that forbids players who withdrew from their national squads from playing any club matches during the 5 days after the FIFA international break is over. Now, we know Iñigo Martinez did not participate with Spain in the FIFA international break due to injury. So Osasuna are saying that under the FIFA rule, Iñigo Martinez should not be allowed to play 5 days during the 5 days after the FIFA international break was over, which ended on Monday, I think, if I'm not mistaken. And therefore, since Iñigo Martinez should not have been included in the lineup, that the results of the Barcelona 3, Osasuna 0 should not be allowed. Now, Barcelona are not worried about this appeal. Why? Because Iñigo Martinez did not just withdraw from the Spanish national team. He was injured. He got injured after during the match between Barcelona and Atletico Madrid. Barcelona submitted all the medical paperwork to the Royal Spanish Football Federation when this injury happened. And the Royal Spanish Football Federation announced that Iñigo Martinez was not going to be called up, that he was being released by the Spanish national team due to his injury. As such, Barcelona are saying, he did not just withdraw, he was released by the Royal Spanish Football Federation. Now, the ironic thing about this whole appeal is that Barcelona are set to use a precedent that was established back in 2004 in a case that favored Osasuna. This is the whole irony. So in 2004, Osasuna had an Australian player called Jean Aloisi. Jean Aloisi was set to join the Australian national team during the FIFA international break. He got injured. Osasuna submitted the paperwork of his injury. Australian team released Jean Aloisi. When the FIFA international break was over, Jean Aloisi was used in the lineup by Osasuna in a match against Mallorca. After that match, Mallorca submitted an appeal to have that result ruled out. And Osasuna said, hold on a second. Jean Aloisi did not just withdraw from the Australian team. He got injured. We submitted the paperwork. He was released. Therefore, we were fine. And the Royal Spanish Football Federation agreed with, La Liga agreed with Osasuna. And that's when the precedent was established back in 2004. So Barcelona are set to use the same precedent that had helped Osasuna back in 2004 against Osasuna this time around. So Barcelona not worried about this appeal, but just know that Osasuna have decided to move forward. Now, speaking of that match between Osasuna and Barcelona, Jules Kounde lashed out after the match against La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation because of the calendar. As you know, Osasuna match was postponed and Royal Spanish Football Federation decided to play it as soon as the FIFA international break was over, which was, of course, exhausting for many of the players that have participated in the FIFA international break. And after the match, Jules Kounde decided to lash out against both bodies by saying the following. Oh, hold on a second. This moved on me. There we go. I'm angry about the date. It's not normal. We've talked about the schedule many times. We play too many games. I know there are people who don't understand. I consider myself lucky to make a living from our passion, but it's disrespectful and not just to the club. I'm also talking about Osasuna, who had injuries like Budimir, who I faced and didn't get the rest he needed. The club doesn't matter. Osasuna, Barcelona, Real Madrid. It's a lack of respect for the players, not just the clubs. We're not machines, and to play our game and put on a good performance, we need rest. All institutions, not just La Liga, have to understand this. They can't set dates however they want. You understand me, right? We have to listen to our voice. We're the main players and they can't do whatever they want. So Jules Kounde very upset at this whole calendar thing, and I'm glad he spoke out because he's right. It doesn't matter what club it is. At the end of the day, the players are not machines. They need to rest. And the whole product of La Liga is the players, right? La Liga, it's a football league, and who plays the football? The players. And if you cannot protect the players, which is the product of La Liga, there is no league. There are no matches. There is no revenue. There's no TV rights. There's no sponsors. There's nothing. So if you can't protect your own product, what the hell are you exactly doing? So Jules Kounde is speaking out. I'm glad he did. And by the way, I'm glad that he did after the match, not before, because remember, Hansi Flick said, hey, there's no excuse. This sucks. It's not ideal. We're going to figure out a way. The team and the players and Flick did. They figured out a way. They beat Osasuna. They got the 3 points. And now that that's done, Kounde comes out and says this. And this is important because had he said it before, people were like, oh, it's just an excuse. Or had we lost, oh, Barcelona's just crying because they lost. But no. Kounde handled his business. The team got the victory. And afterwards, he spoke out. And I 100% agree with the words that he had to say. And of course, I do want to hear you guys' thoughts. What do you think about Kounde's words? Do you agree with him? Do you not? Let me know in the comment section. Now, by the way, Kounde also tweeted the video of him giving that interview and tagged La Liga and the Royal Spanish Football Federation, kind of like, hey, just in case you guys missed it on TV, here you go, I'm tagging you. Now, speaking of the calendar, of course, and its implications, such as injuries, it has been confirmed that Dani Olmo will be out for 3 weeks. He has suffered an injury to his adductor. He's expected to be out 3 weeks, but Hansi Flick has spoken to the doctors and he said that he wants full caution. He prefers that Dani Olmo stays out more matches than needed, and then he can use them for the rest of the season versus have Dani Olmo come back early and then have him getting re-injured. Now, this means that Dani Olmo will miss, of course, today's match against Girona. He'll miss the semi-final in the Copa del Rey against Atletico Madrid. He's going to miss La Liga match against Real Betis, and he will miss the first leg of the Champions League quarterfinals against Dortmund. Now, that's 3 weeks right there. Those 4 matches are 3 weeks. Now, if Dani Olmo needs more time, or if the doctors want to be extra cautious, he could also miss the match against Leganés in La Liga and the second leg against Dortmund in the Champions League. Of course, we'll see how he progresses and when he could be back. Now, more news because, ladies and gentlemen, Ancelotti has responded to Hansi Flick. Now, as you might recall, I discussed this in a previous video. Hansi Flick was asked during a press conference, hey, what do you think about Real Madrid complaining about the calendar? And Hansi Flick pretty much said the following: we are Barca, not Real Madrid, and I'm very proud of being Barca. So, of course, I talked about this in more details in the video. Hansi Flick pretty much saying, look, if they want to cry, they want to complain, whatever, that's their business. We are Barca. We don't make up excuses. We don't cry. We figure out a way and we pull ahead. And that's exactly what he did. And while during a pre-match press conference between Real Madrid and Leganés, which, by the way, Madrid won 3-2, another robbery, another controversial match to add to the long, long list of robberies and controversial matches that Madrid have pulled during the season. But Ancelotti in that pre-match press conference responded to Flick saying the following: I agree with Hansi Flick. Real Madrid are not Barcelona. So I guess I agree with you too, Mr. Ancelotti, and thank God Barcelona are not Real Madrid, because honestly, with the way you guys are playing, it's absolutely shameful. With the robberies you have been doing all season, it's absolutely shameful, and I can't even imagine who would be in their right mind proud to be a Real Madrid fan, but hey, to each their own. All right, let's end this video with the last bit of news, and it's in regards to Dani Alves, because an appeals court in Spain has overturned his conviction. Now, you might know this from the news or from a previous video I made, but Dani Alves was found guilty February of 2024 of raping a woman at a club back in December of 2022. He was sentenced to 4 years and 6 months. He filed an appeal, and today the appellate court in Spain has overturned the conviction, saying that the testimony of the victim differed from the video footage of the nightclub where the whole incident happened, which I thought was pretty interesting because, if anything, it's Dani Alves who changed his stories. I think it was like 5 or 8 times, something like that. He first said that he had never seen or heard of that woman. He didn't know who she was. Then he said, yeah, I kind of met her, but it was real quick. Nothing happened. And he's like, no, yeah, we did have sex, but it wasn't, it was consensual. His story has changed so many times, but yet his conviction has been overturned because they say that the words of the victim does not match the footage video, or there's discrepancies. I don't know. I'm not very familiar with the case, but just know that Dani Alves' conviction has been overturned. Anyways, that is all for this video. I'm going live 2 more times before after this one to give you all the Barcelona news so you could be up to date ahead of our match against Girona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next live in a few minutes. And as always,